if you got 100,000 clicks to your website in the next 30 days, how many sales do you think you would be able to generate, right? You probably think, right, you need to spend thousands of dollars and countless hours scaling your brand. But the truth is, today, you can actually do it almost for free, right, for 10 times less traffic, okay? You can make $100,000 per month from your e-commerce brand using an offer sales funnel, okay? We're going to be taking Alex Hormozi's principles and we're going to be applying that directly to e-commerce, which is exactly what I did with this brand here, okay? $500,000 per month from this e-commerce brand using exactly what I'm going to teach you in today's video. This is me, all nice and smiley and happy, okay? Right, so by the end of this video, you will have the ability to build a $100,000 per month e-commerce offer sales funnel, and you can build this today, right? It's not very difficult to build. It's just a marketing principle that we're going to apply to e-commerce. So just so you know that I'm not, completely lying to you and this is total truth, I've been able to do this multiple times, right? Not only build that $500,000 per month e-commerce brand, but I've done this multiple times. This one $100,000 in one day, $217,000 per month for this brand. If you guys want, I can show you videos of me doing this. I really couldn't care less. This one, $10,000 per day in ad spend at 3 ROAS. Okay, so there's just a little bit of proof for you. These are ads and accounts and brands that I've actually worked on and the results that I've managed to get them. Right, I'm not trying to sell you coaching or anything. In fact, I actually have a free training and a free course where I'm going to teach you exactly how to build long-term sustainable brands, right, that you can scale to these levels. If you want to know how to do all of that stuff, there is a free training. Just register for it down below or up here in the cards. It is a live training. I will teach you. I'm not trying to sell you an agency or run your ads for you, okay? Now, none of this would be possible if it were not for this offer sales funnel that we're going to go through in today's video, right? And I'm about to share exactly how to build one of those right now. So let's start off by reverse engineering this, right? How are we actually going to make $100,000? Well, most people who have an e-commerce brand are selling a product for something along the lines of $50, right? That is your average order value of your product, okay? Which means we need to make roughly 2,000 sales to be able to make that amount of money from our brand, okay? Which means the actual amount of traffic required, assuming, right, a 1.5% conversion rate, we need 133,000 visitors to our website, which is a lot of visitors, right? If we actually convert this back into views, if we're doing organic, we're looking at probably close to 1 million or even maybe 10 million, okay, which is a lot of traffic, okay? So most people who are starting a business, this number is completely out of reach, right? Especially if you're running ads. This is going to be, probably close to $100,000, okay? Maybe even more, okay? Now, the problem with this is a few things. First of all, if you're going to spend $100,000 and you're only going to make $100,000, you're not making any profit, right? So this one's out automatically unless we can get that ad cost down. These are very, very difficult to achieve. But what if, right, we could actually achieve these numbers just by reducing the amount of traffic, right? If we could get less traffic, we could get more customers and more money from our customers. What do the numbers look like for that, okay? Because that is basically what I did with this brand over here, okay? So first of all, let's just do the maths on that. We need 1,000 sales if we have a AOV of $100, okay? So we've only doubled our average order value, but we are going to increase our conversion rate by 2 times to get us a 3% conversion rate, which is going to give us 10 times roughly, right, not quite, 10 times less the amount of traffic. So we're going to get 33,000 visitors versus 133,000 visitors. So significant reduction in the amount of visitors to our website just by increasing the revenue that we're getting to our business per customer and also our conversion rate. But now, right, you're wondering, well, Sebastian, how on earth do I actually do this? Well, let's break this down, okay? This is exactly what I mean by the offer funnel. And there's multiple ways to actually build this, and I'm going to go through exactly how to build it properly. But basically, right, this is the exact structure that I used. And by the way, that case study that I'm going to show you for the live training, $100,000 in a day, is linked down below. But that case study, I basically did all of this stuff. I'm going to sort of go through it in a lot more detail in that, how you can actually get the whole system set up. But basically, right, what we need to do is build a grand slam offer, right? This is Alex Hormozi's principle. I'm just applying it to e-commerce. So basically, right, if you haven't heard of this equation before, what he's essentially saying is we need to give that customer who's coming to our store a perception that there's a very high value. Whatever it is they're buying is worth a lot, either to them or whoever they're buying it for. In other words, you need to be able to sell a product that is going to solve a problem, and you have to give people a reason to purchase your product, okay? So if you're selling a product which is a desire product, right, you need to make sure that you either increase the value of that product or you switch out your product for something that's actually going to solve a problem. For example, right, this is a semi-problem solving, semi-desire product, okay, because it stops me from losing my AirPods, okay? It's also funny looking thing, right? This watch is more of a desire-based product. The only problem that it solves is the fact it can tell me the time. Although this one's got other features. But the point is, right, you need to sell a product that's actually going to solve a problem. I'm going to give you an example of that in a minute. But whatever you're selling, you can increase the chances of somebody buying your product by using this equation. So in other words, dream outcome multiplied by the perceived likelihood, divided by the perceived effort, and multiplied by the perceived time. In other words, right, if we can actually quantify this into numbers, if we increase the top part of this equation and decrease the bottom part of this equation, we will achieve a higher value, right? As the bottom of this tends towards 0, we will basically create an exponential growth in our value of our product. Okay, it's just basic maths. So obviously we can't necessarily quantify it, but what is a good example of this? Well, first of all, right, let's just come down here and say, right, dream outcome. What is the biggest dream outcome for most people? We're just going to do winning the lottery, okay? That is, I'll give you another example specifically for e-commerce in a second, right? But let's just say, right, win lottery. That is a huge desire of people, a huge outcome that would change most people's lives. Now, perceived likelihood is obviously the chances of this happening, right? So if we could actually sell them a product that is going to guarantee this, okay? So the guarantee of this product, we're going to guarantee this product, okay, 100% guarantee, okay? In other words, it's going to happen, okay? And we have another one that we'll come back to in a second. Then the perceived effort of this, well, actually what we're going to sell them is a product that allows them to hack the national lottery, okay? It's a simple one line of code, a simple piece of software. So we're going to put here one line of code. Okay, so now it's very, very easy for this to happen. It's one line of code. The perceived outcome and the dream outcome is obviously going to be winning the lottery. The perceived likelihood is very, very, there's a high chance of it happening because it's 100% guaranteed. You have to obviously you have to show proof of this, and obviously this is like, you can get in the realms of this sounding like a scam the more you increase these numbers, right? One line of code multiplied by the perceived time, right? And you can do this in less than 5 minutes, okay? Now, if you want to really drive this home, you can say, actually, there is no coding experience required. Okay, so now the chances of somebody winning the lottery in less than 5 minutes is 100%, and they do not need to have one line of code. So then all you need to do is actually apply this into a headline. Okay, and the entire idea of this is whatever it is that you're selling, you need to be able to get the value of that product across to your customer in one headline. Okay, so for example, let's actually now apply this to e-commerce. Okay, so for example, I'm not going to scroll down for a second because I don't want to show you the final result, because there is an example which I've given you where we turned it into a headline. But here, right, we want to, dream outcome is achieving clear skin. Okay, you can add extra bits onto this. For example, with acne products, you want to make sure that the acne is never going to return. Okay, so if you can add that into the dream outcome as well, you are now increasing the top part of this equation. Multiply that by the likelihood of this happening. Well, okay, there's a guarantee it's going to happen. Here's a load of testimonials and case studies and proof that this has already happened. Okay, and then on the bottom side of this equation, we want to decrease this one, right? So simplify the process. In other words, this could be, if we apply this to the acne product, this could be a cream, and we can use this one time per month, okay? Something like that, right? That is obviously going to be, if we actually apply this to the specific equation, right, that is obviously the perceived effort. So the effort involved is very, very minimal. They don't need to do it every single day, for example. And then the perceived time, right, if we could say that we're going to get quick results, so obviously this, you need to be careful here, right, because if I'm saying I'm simplifying the process, you only need to apply it once a month, and I say you can get results within 7 days, then that kind of doesn't work. So obviously you want to make sure that whatever you're saying here, for example, if you're saying that you only need to apply the cream once per day, okay, right? Then in 7 days you're going to see quick results. You can make it like instant, whatever it is, right? And you've got to make sure you're not just lying here. Also, fast shipping, instant access, right? If you're doing a digital product, this is instant access. This is more like what Hormozy actually says, okay? So that is basically the idea of using it within e-commerce. And then the idea is now you need to actually convert this into a headline, okay? So if you've got your landing page of your website, okay, we're going to build the website like this. Let's just give it a white background, right? This is our landing page on our website. Let's not give it a background. Okay, and then at the top we have a headline, okay? Or actually, if you look at it like an e-commerce store, if this is your Shopify page, for example, this would be the image of the product you're selling. This is obviously the product name and the buy now button or whatever, and then this here would be the headline is where you put it, right? Alternatively, you can put it here, or you can put it sort of like in this section here. The point is it needs to be very obvious of exactly what the headline is. So let's apply this to a specific example. So if you said, from our product selling acne, you can achieve clear skin or achieve clear radiant skin in just 7 days with our proven 3-step anti-acne kit, guaranteed results or your money back, that is an example of what Alex Ramosi calls a $100 million offer, right? In other words, this is partly what we're trying to build with our offer sales funnel, okay? And I'm going to get through the sales funnel in a second. So you can kind of see how, right, this equation helps him or helps everybody else craft their offer, okay? So if you can sort of design your offer like this, tie it back to your product, it's very, very easy for when somebody comes onto your website to understand exactly what your product is, what it does, how it can help them, and how it can get them results, okay? And if you can do all of those things very, very quickly, there is basically no reason for them not to purchase. Now, we did say at the start, right, we want to make $100,000 per month. So how do we actually increase our average order value to $100? And this basically comes from introducing, and I went through this in another video, which is like a Russell Brunson technique, but essentially the idea here is, what did he call it? Like an offer ladder? I've forgotten the name of it now. But anyway, the idea is a ladder. So what you do is you gradually increase you want the customer to go through a value sort of growth. So when they join your website, the product that you're selling on the front end is like $10 to $20, okay, so it's a lower priced product, but because you've got a very high offer, a very good offer, right, the conversion rate is like 3%, so you increase your conversion rate because you've got a lower price, your price is lower than your competitors, the value is incredibly high because we've built that offer stack. We've introduced, if by the way also, right, as a side note, if your product doesn't create you a good value for your product, right? If it doesn't have a good value, all you really need to do is just add in extra bits and pieces into your product to make it better, okay? And you can do a lot of that stuff with like digital things. Then what we do is once they've bought that first product, we've got them over the hoop. We then want to move them up this ladder because at this step here, we're going to charge them for $50 for something. And then this step here, we're going to charge them $100 for something. So for anybody who does go through the funnel, maybe you get 100% of people spending $20 on your store, okay? You get 50% of people spending $50 on your store. So we're going to, add $25 to that, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to add maybe 10% of people or 30% of people are going to add $100 of the $100 product, right? So you add an extra $30 to your store, which means we're now getting $30, $40, $50, $60, $75. Okay, so that is $75 for our average order value now. And that's the basic principle, right? So they go through, and this is the funnel, and I'll explain how you can build it in a second, right? This is the funnel. They now spend $75. But the really important metric here is now, I can't spell, right? Lifetime value. Okay, because now that customers come through, they've bought multiple products. If you then give them a good service, and this is like, I'm going to teach this stuff in the free training, but if you give them a good service, they keep on coming back, right? And then every product that you sell them has the same offer that you set. You set up a new offer for each product that you sell, okay? So it really gets across the point of the value of that product. And then on top of that, you push them through this value ladder. What did I call it? I think it's literally just called a value ladder, okay? So basically the idea here is like now every product that we sell has an incredibly high value. The chances of somebody buying is significantly greater, and also when they buy, they're going to keep coming back and buying more products, okay? And that is like the very, very simple version of applying an offer sales funnel to e-commerce. Now, if you want to actually build the store, I'm going to just whistle through this bit really quickly. Here's the way that you want to define it, okay? So you can either have your normal product page, and like I just drew in that diagram earlier, but you're going to fail to build that offer stack, okay? You're going to fail to basically upsell them on multiple products. You can have like in-cart upsells, but it's not really going to work. What you actually need to do is build a sales funnel, right? And the idea of a sales funnel is we have multiple pages, and we're going to build this with blue because, we're feeling special. Multiple pages, and on each single page, you're basically going to be selling a different product, okay? And you can have as many of these as you want, and basically, so this is like a thing that Russell Brunson basically uses with ClickFunnels, which is a different software for building websites. So the idea is, right, on the first page of your website, on the first page, you are selling your tripwire or your low-ticket product, right? This would be like your $20 product to get the customer in the door, and this is what we put the offer on. on. Okay, we've just built the offer for this one. That customer will then go ahead and buy, or then go ahead and be pushed to the thank you page, right? And the thank you page is basically going to be another upsell product. Okay, on this page, this is going to be the $50 product. Now, at this point, you have two choices. One, let me just move this out of the way, right? I appreciate sort of this is dragging you. You don't want to watch me draw lines, but such is life. So now, let's just make this white because it's easier to see. One, and then we're going to draw another one. So that customer has two choices, right? They either say yes, okay, or they say no, okay? So if they say yes to this product, then what we're going to do is we're going to send them to number 3, and this is going to be number 4. And number 3, we're going to upsell them on a $100 product, okay? And if they say no, we're going to downsell this exact same product, but instead for $50, we're going to sell it for $25, okay? And then you can continue this pattern. You can do yes, no, yes, no, as many times as you want, right? But realistically, by the time you get to this point, the number of people that get to the end of the funnel here and actually purchase is going to be very, very minimal. What you're better off doing is actually sending these people through a proper like customer support solution. Sort of keeping them warm, making sure they're happy, and then when you sell a new product to that customer, so you do product launches, maybe you launch a new product every month. If you've got a niche store, just find a new product and add it to your store. You basically recycle this funnel, okay, and you push them back through the same funnel, okay? But obviously in this case, you would be selling a new product when you go back through the funnel. And that is essentially the idea of building out $100 million, $100 million? That would be nice. $100,000 per month e-commerce brand, okay? Now that's exactly what I did with this brand here. In fact, I'm actually getting over $500,000.